My dear friends, welcome. Who's ready for a couple of junk store tours? Hands up. So today we are going to the city of Lenzburg in Switzerland, and they have a castle called Schloss Lenzburg. It's from the Middle Ages. Here you can see it, this fortified castle on top of the mound, on top of the hill. I'm going to see if I can get in with a street view. Not sure. Let's have a look. Where's that little chap? Where is he? Ah, there it is. So, and unfortunately not. They don't have street view there. It's just a warped blob. So let us escape from there. I'll try to remember how to do it. There it is. So, no street view, unfortunately, but if any of you wish that I visit that castle, I haven't been there for years and years, let me know, and I'll try and gather how much interest there is for me to make that visit. But anyway, there's a junk store in this town, and that's where we're going now. This is the town. It's a lovely little town, actually. There's an old cinema there. It looked like it was closed. I thought it was, but somebody reliably informed me that it is open on certain days despite the lockdown. They're still going strong. I thought it looked so quaint, but it's a sweet old town. You can see another view here. There. It's when the sun's out, it's quite nice, and people sit outside. There's no cars can go through here, which I love. So you can have a cup of coffee outside and a croissant. It's very nice when the weather is pleasant. So this is where we're going today for our junk store. Let's get straight into it. Here we have some old army canisters, assorted army knickknacks, hats, bus conductors. I don't have bus conductors. Maybe tram conductors in the old days. I have no idea what that uniform. Maybe it's just like maybe someone from Switzerland can tell me. Maybe some military reserve. No idea. Dolls for those who like them. Wall lamp from the 40s. Calendar. Remember those paper calendars from olden times? Someone has reserved that painting. They can have it. I don't really like it. There's an old Norman sewing machine. Haven't really heard of that brand. Norman. Was that a mannequin there, lurking in the corner? I'm quite sure she'll make her presence known. So, what have we got here? Oh my goodness, a gruesome looking doll, isn't it? A miserable face on it. Remember these from the 80s? They're a sort of globe bar, sort of an old world globe. And you put your drinks in there, made out of MDF board. I think a lot of people had these in the 80s. And now they're only fit for the junk store. Maybe it will be the antique of the future. Who knows? In 100 years' time, maybe they'll be eagerly sought after. Here we've got some nice beer krugs, some beer steins. Good, cheap prices, like $5 for some decorative. Not bad. $4 for that pewter one there. Would you pay that? I think I would if I was a tankard collector. Ah, there, look at she's trying not to make any facial expression. And she's using ectoplasm and hypnotism in the hope that I won't notice her presence. I caught her out. Look at that dress. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, on to the next junk store, and this is a beautiful town. My dear friends, we are leaving now Lenzburg, and we are going to Wiel, St. Gallen, or Sankt Gallen, and they have a beautiful old town, an Altstadt. I'm trying to find it here. I don't think that's it. A nice roof, though, aren't they, those houses? That one there to the left has a lovely roof. I don't think that's the old... What is that monolith there? The Illuminati littering up our landscape. How dare they? Hope I don't get demonetized for that. Where's that old Stadt? Where's that old town? Come out wherever you are. Excuse me. That looks like an old sort of town formation, doesn't it? I think that's it. I think that's it. A must. If you visit Switzerland, it is really, really sweet. Ville St. Gallen in English and St. Gallen in German. Let's have a look. Indeed, yes, this is the old part of town where we are going to be visiting presently. Remember that archway here, you see, my dear audience. Remember that archway. You will see that in the film as we walk quickly through the town. And we've been invited to this junk store. The gentleman in question wrote me a beautiful email. A very friendly chap. I'm going to leave his details up at the end of the video. Caesar, his name is. Fantastic name, isn't it? And he's very nice. Him and his dear lady, very welcoming. We're going to go back when the weather's warmer. We're going to go and have lunch with them. Really, really nice people. You see, there's that archway. And his store, it's a little antique shop actually, is through that archway. It's a beautiful town. We had lunch here. But next time we're going to, when the weather's a bit warmer, catch up with Caesar and his partner. And yeah, they got more to show us. He was actually closing for lunch, and he was so sweet. He let us in, even though he was, getting ready to close. And he was so sad that we didn't, prearrange to come. We were in a sort of a bit of a rush too that day. But next time I'm going to take more time. But he kindly let me film, nevertheless. So, wonderful. I love these old towns, and I especially like it when they don't allow traffic to drive through. You get a sense of being back in time without some diesel white van up your bum. I love the colours too. I love the sort of beautiful pale greens and ochres and sort of pale pinks. Indeed. I'm a romantic at heart. A romantic, my dear audience. As I said, it's only a quick look over today because I don't want to stop Caesar from getting to lunch. So we'll have a quick look through, and next time I will stay longer and prearrange a visit. So he's got all sorts of eclectic items here. Very interesting stuff. Can you see anything you like there, my dear audience? Well, it really is. It's crammed full of stuff. You definitely would need time to look through everything at your leisure. And he's always very helpful, Caesar. If you have any questions, he speaks English, of course, so if you were to visit his shop, he can communicate with you, no problem. I like it. He's got sort of a great sort of style about his shop. He's decorated it very, very nicely. All sorts of different items. Well, there's so much to see, isn't there? Helmets and everything. LPs, books, pictures, knickknacks, porcelain items, everything you could imagine. Crammed a lot into a relatively small space. Well, if you can't find what you're looking for here, it's amazing. Oh my goodness, it's one of those terrifying shop window dummies. Oh, it's so lifelike too. Oh, quite horrific. Oh, you remember those poodles from the 70s? And that dog too sort of brings some sort of memory to me. These are wonderful, aren't they, for putting in flour and vinegar. They're over 100 years old. So much to see. And so, there she is, Marceline disguised as a 1970s lampshade. How does she do it? How does she do it? I nearly missed her too. I nearly missed her. You crafty old devil. Oh my goodness. What will she disguise herself as next time? I can't keep up with her. Well, thank you very much, Caesar, for allowing me to visit your shop and for the lovely invite, and I look forward to seeing you next time. If you're ever in the area, my dear Oddites, do call in and visit Caesar, and he will give you a warm welcome, I assure you. Still so much to see, and I'm sure I'm keeping him from his lunch. Look, there's all sorts of amazing items. Well, that's been a great visit, a really, really good visit, and I shall indeed return. Tell me what you think of Caesar's shop, my dear Oddites. Did you enjoy it as well? Just a few still photos here of some items of interest. That looks like an old biscuit tin. Oh, chocolate. Lebkuchen, yeah, biscuits. Biscuits and chocolate from Nuremberg. Heinrich Heberlein. Very decorative, weren't they, in those days? And here we have an old fireman's helmet. That looks to be well over 100 years old. Probably when they were using horse and carts and they pumped the water by hand. And there's an old Mercedes convertible from the 50s. Of course, it's only a model. What do they want for that? 240 Swiss francs. My goodness, well, I hope it's a rare thing, because it's quite a lot of money. It looks to have a key on the bonnet where you can wind it up. So it's probably an old one. And we have a little glass here. A souvenir of Herisau, which is here in Switzerland. And last but not least, a Swiss cowbell. That is really an old one, with its leather strap still attached. Very nice item. A great souvenir for tourists to Switzerland. Well, look what I found on my travels. It's an old London bus that's lost its way. It's a vintage Bristol Lodecker. London and double-decker probably combined together. That's a wonderful. Looks to be from the 1960s. I'm sure they're using it here for wedding parties and other such occasions. I had spotted it, and as I was driving past on the way to Wiel, and then on my return journey it was no longer there, so I drove through the industrial estate until I found it. I remember using these buses when I was a child, visiting my sisters in London. Slightly different model. It was the one where the back was open and you could just step on and off at your will. Fantastic memories. I loved going upstairs, of course, when I was a kid, up the little sort of spiral staircase to the top. And I loved the fact that you could just sort of hop on and off whenever you liked if you stopped at the traffic lights. I thought I'd share that little Piccadilly tour, as it's called. Wonderful.
Breaking news. International celebrity Audie Bowe travels from Geneva to Delhi for an important news conference. He has apparently been given the title of Space Cadet of the Year. More information to follow by our correspondent on location. Reports have come in from a credible source that the late leader of Heaven's Gate, Marshall Applewhite, has declared who will be the new celestial spaceman to lead humanity's flock into salvation.
And the E on there is like the same way. It's a young member of the kingdom of God. Odie or Adi, Odie or Adi, 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 Adi,